Hi, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's start. So yesterday we were dealing with sub-languages concept, right? In that we are done understanding about DDL. In DML we saw about insert command and update is also done, right? We need to understand about delete command, right? Oh, hi Sudipta, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hi. I think this is your first class, right?
Yeah.
Okay, actually, this is our third demo. 2 days back, we started this batch, and I explained about some basics of SQL. Uh, so, are you new to SQL, or do you have some basic knowledge on SQL?
I have basic knowledge.
Yeah, perfect then. So, I'll quickly explain you what we discussed in the last couple of days, and then I'll continue with the today's class. Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Just give me 10 minutes, guys. Let me explain about our previous concepts. It will be like a revision for you also. Okay. So this is first of all MySQL Workbench, right? This is our last demo, and on Monday, whoever will get registered with us, they will receive new Zoom link. Follow that link, and we can start our regular classes, right? So on Monday, I'll show you the installation process of MySQL Workbench. But after installing, you can see like this. This is the user interface. Okay, whatever you can see here below schemas, this is nothing but the list of databases available in my system. Okay, first of all, we know what is database, right? It is a collection of data. Usually first we'll create the database, and inside the database we'll store the data. These are all my databases names. Once you install the software, initially you can able to see only sys software, I mean sys database. Okay, afterwards whatever database you will create, that list you can find here. Okay, and these are some of the SQL files where we can write all our SQL queries. Okay, to open a SQL file, we have two options. This is a menu bar, this is toolbar, right? So in menu bar, file option, if I click on new query tab, I can able to open a new SQL file, or else directly in the toolbar first icon, this one. Okay, I can click on that to open a new file again. Okay, like this. And inside a file, we have some options here. Okay, after writing any query, if we want to save that into our system, we can use this save button. And to open the already saved files, we need to click on this folder icon. Clicking on the folder icon like this, we can able to open any of the saved files. Okay, and the third is nothing but execute button. After every query, we need to execute to see the output, right? This is an execute button. Okay, and as I said, MySQL is case insensitive. That is, we can use uppercase or lowercase. Okay, and we have something called as comments here. Like in every programming language, we'll have comments. That is, inside comments, whatever we will write, that will be non-executable. Okay, here we have two types of comments. One is single line, and the second one is multi-line comments. Okay, to write single line comments, either we'll use this symbol or hash. Okay, in something like this, in first I use the symbol and then I wrote, right? Like that we can use this multi-line comments, in the sense this is the start of the comment, hash and star, and in between you can write how many lines you want, and then this is the end of the comment, star and hash. Okay, so whatever we'll write inside this comments, that will be non-executable. If you don't want to execute anything, we can write it inside comments. Okay, hi Mahika, can you hear me?
Hello, good evening, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. I think this is your first class, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, just now I said we started this batch couple of days ago. Okay, this is our third class actually. But as we have some new students today, I'm just repeating what I said in this last 2 days. Okay. and then I'll continue with the class.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And if you have any doubts, don't worry. I can repeat if you have any doubts, or you can just ask me. You can stop and ask me, okay? And if you want, I can repeat that concept also. Okay,
Sure, ma'am. Okay.
perfect. Just a second. So this is, as I said just now, this is MySQL Workbench. On Monday, I'll show you the installation process. Okay, this is the, basically we'll have something called as database. First, we'll create database, and inside database only we will store the data, right? Previously we used to store, we have so many ways of storing the data, but nowadays as we are generating data a lot, to maintain that data we will use database. Okay, so this is all the data, these are all the database names which I have in my system. Okay, by default whenever you install, you can able to see only database. Okay, so and just to open this file, in this is a SQL file, and inside this file only we will write all the queries. To open this file, either in the file menu, new query tab, or else directly the toolbar, this first icon. Okay, by clicking this also we can open the same file. A new file we can open, and here only we will write all the queries. Okay, so MySQL is case insensitive. That is, we can use upper cases or lower cases, no problem. Comments in the sense, whatever, if we don't want to execute, okay, if you are just trying to write something like nodes, or if you don't want to execute any query also, you can write them inside comments. Whatever you will write inside comments, that will be non-executable. Okay, in SQL we have two types of comments. One is single line comment, and the second one is multi-line comment. Okay, so single line comment in the sense, either this symbol or hash. Okay, you need to write the symbol, and then whatever you write, that will be non-executable. Multi-line comments in the sense, this one, this is the start of the comment, hash and star, and then you can write whatever you want, and this is the end of the comment, star and hash again. Okay, this is about comments. And then from here we will our actual concepts will start. Let's first, as I said, first we need to create the database, and inside database we will create the tables, right? So for everything here we will have something called as queries, or we'll have something called as syntaxes actually. Okay, so for creating database also we have a syntax, and the syntax is this one: create database. Database name is the syntax for creating the database. Okay, so let me create for you one more database. I'm just renaming this. First of all, every database and every table names should be unique. I already have SQL demo. If I execute this again, it will throw me error stating. Yes, Mahika.
What's the difference between database and schema?
Schema is nothing but database is basically where we will we will store all the data. Schema is a place where we can find the list of databases available. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Something like, for example, if I tell you, let me just show you.
Suppose
Sup-
that sometimes we used to create databases inside schema.
Yes, yes. Suppose, for example, a small example, this not that correct, but suppose we'll have this PC, and inside we'll have some folders, right? We can imagine this as databases. These are different databases, and this PC is a schema. Inside this only we will have, this databases. And if I open this folder, we can able to see separate folders, right? So inside each database, we can create separate tables like that. Clear?
Okay, got it. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So, yeah, as I said, database name and table names should be unique. If I execute this one, it is saying me that create a database. Database already exists. So I can't create this database again, right? Because every time the name should be unique. So I'm just changing it as SQL demo 1. I'm executing, selecting and executing. This is the execute button. So inside the SQL file, we can able to see three options here. To save this file into a system, we need to click on save button. To open any already saved files, we need to use click on this folder icon. Like this, we can select and we can open any files. And this is execute button. Okay, now I'm clicking on the execute button. It got created. Okay, whatever database we created just now, to reflect that database name in this list, you need to click on a refresh button. Okay, So you can see here, now I got my SQL demo one. Okay, so inside each database we'll have 4 sections here. One is tables, views, store procedures, functions. Okay, each and everything we will discuss going forward. First we will concentrate on tables. So inside database we will create tables, and inside tables only we will say we will save the data. Okay, so every time what we need to do whenever we are working, we need to first activate the database, because of course in real time we will work with only one database, we will connect to our client's database. But here you can see I have so many databases here. Every time whenever I'm executing any query, first I need to activate the database so that SQL will understand that what database I'm going to use. Okay, so to activate the database we need to use command. Okay, the syntax will be use database name. So I'm writing it as use SQL demo 1. Now I'm selecting, executing. You can see now it got highlighted, right? Whatever queries I'm going to execute going forward, all the queries will be executed inside this database only, like that. Okay, every time we need to daily whenever we are working, we need to first activate, then only we need to do all the work. Okay, so now let's create the table. We created the database, we activated the database, then we will see how we are going to create a table. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so for example, let me write one table here. Okay, if suppose I'm using employees table, employees is my table name. In that I wanted to, I'm giving some columns. Every table, it is a collection of, first of all, we need to create a database. Okay, database is nothing but it's a collection of data. Okay, then what is SQL in the sense, the full form of SQL is structured query language. Basically what is SQL in the sense, it is a language used to communicate with the database. Okay, SQL is a language used to communicate with the database. We will store data inside database, whatever data we want. Okay, according to our requirements, we need to communicate our requirements to the database. To communicate, we will use SQL as a language. Okay, in SQL only we will write all the queries. Based on that only it will understand and it will give the data accordingly. So in database we will store the data in the form of tables. Okay, tables is nothing but it is a collection of rows and columns. Okay, so I'm giving some columns here: employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining. Okay, and let me enter some random data quickly. Okay, so yeah, employees is my table name. Now vertically, whatever vertical thing is called as columns. Okay, that is I have 4 columns here: employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining, and horizontal thing is called row. That is I'm having 2 rows of data. This is first row of data and this is second row of data. Okay, tables always will be the collection of rows and columns. I wrote this in an Excel file, but let's create that in SQL. Okay, so to create the table we need to use create syntax. Okay, and the syntax will be create table name, then we need to use parentheses, that is brackets, and inside the brackets you need to define the column names. How many columns we want, that many column names we need to write, and for every column name we need to define data type. Okay, I'll explain what is data type in a while. Okay, and so I wrote like this. I took the same whatever I gave here, the same example, employees is my table name, and within the brackets I used 4 columns, that is employee ID, employee name, salary, and date of joining. Okay, now I need to define data types for each and every column here. So let's try to understand first what is data types. For example, you can observe this Excel file. any column. Suppose the salary column is there. In salary column, we need to enter some numbers, right? Suppose if I'm entering some word here, it is accepting. Excel is accepting. It is not throwing me any error. It is not saying me that this is a salary column. You need to enter numbers only, but you are entering some textual data, right? If it is date, we need to enter dates only, but whatever I'm entering, it is accepting, right? So whenever we are, dealing with large volumes of data, definitely we need to have some, good systems where if we enter some wrong data or irrelevant data, it should throw us error, right? This is one of the drawback of Excel file. Okay, this drawback we overcome in SQL by using the concept called as data types. What is data types? In the sense, data types will only decide what kind of values we can store inside any column. What kind of values we can store will be decided by the data types. Basically, we have few data types in SQL. That is, first one is numerical data type. Okay, and the second one is character or string data type. Let me show you one figure. Just give me a second. So numerical data type, character or string data type, date and time data type. Okay. Numerical data type again divides into two types, that is int and float. Okay. So int in the sense it stores only numbers. Float in the sense if we want to store decimal values, then we need to declare float. Float accepts normal numbers as well as decimal numbers. Okay. If I define float, I can enter 1.2 and I can enter normal 2 also. Numbers also it will accept. Okay. And then character or string data type, in which we have two types again. One is char and varchar. What is this char and varchar? I'll explain you in a while. And then date and time data type. In this also we have two data types. One is date and the second one is date time. If you want to store only date, we will use this date data type. If you want to store time also along with the date, then we will use date time data type. Okay. That is what I wrote here. Int and float. Int stores only numbers. Float stores decimals as well as numbers. Okay. And character or string data type, as I said, we have two types, char and varchar. But one thing we need to, discuss here, that whenever we are defining character data, we need to define size also. Okay. What is this? I'll just show you. And then date time data type, the format, we have one format for date data type. Definitely we need to use this format only. First year, then month, then date. This complete year, like 4 wise, and dd. If you don't follow this format, and if you enter like first date, month, year, like that, it won't accept. It will throw us error. Okay. And date time, the format is like this: year, month, date, hour, minute, second. Okay. So now as we understood about the data types, let's create our perfect table. Okay. A table name is employees. Employee ID, definitely my employee ID will be in the form of numbers. So I defined int as a data type. Then comma, next employee name. I gave char as a data type for now. I'll explain you what is the difference between char and varchar in a while. But as I said, whenever we are defining character data, we need to define the size, right? To define the size, what we'll do after writing char or varchar, we need to use brackets, and within the brackets we will define some size. Here I'm defining some size as 10. That means I am allocating 10 bytes of memory. 10 bytes of memory for this employee name column. Size is nothing but we are allocating some memory for that particular column. That means I can enter up to 10 characters only. In each byte of memory, we can store single character. Okay, 1 byte of memory, 1 character we can store. As we are allocating 10 bytes of memory, that means I can enter up to 10 characters only. 10 characters only in this employee name. If I'm entering 11 letter word, 12 letter word, it will throw me error. I can enter up to 10, like 2, 3, 4, 5, how many also it will accept. Okay, like that. Every time whenever we are defining character data, accordingly we need to define the size. Okay. Then salary, we may have sometimes decimal data also in salary, so I defined it as float. Date of joining, I defined it as date data type. Okay. So this is how we will create the table. Okay, so I'm selecting it, I'm executing. You can see it got executed. This is the output section. Basically, if you can see like this green color tick mark, it means it executed successfully. If you have any errors, you can see like this red color cross mark. Okay, just now the table got created. We can see here, I'm just refreshing here. Now I can able to expand this tables and I can see employees table here. If I'm selecting this, this is the information section where I can see all the column names and the data types. Okay, so this is how we will create the table. Next, we need to insert the data, and to insert the data, we need to use insert command. Okay, the syntax will be like insert into table name, values, and then we need to give the values inside the brackets like this. So I already gave some values. We define some rows here, insert into employees, values. Then within the brackets, we need to give the data here in the same sequence of, or in whatever sequence we define the column, like first employee ID, then employee name, then salary. In that sequence only we need to give the values. Okay, first I gave one ram, some values here for salary and date of joining. Okay, but if you observe for character data and for dates, I used single quotes. Either we can use single quotes or double quotes for character data and dates. Numbers only we can give directly. Okay, like this. After then the bracket is closed, I kept a comma, and then this is the second row of data. In between the brackets, a comma is separating column data here. This is first column. SQL will understand whenever it sees comma within the brackets, this will be first column data, second column, third column, like that. Once I close the bracket, this will be one row of data. This will be second row of data. Likewise, I entered 4 rows here. Correct? Let me select and execute. It also got executed, right? Usually I'll write everything, but as I already discussed about these concepts, I'm just showing you with the already written code. Okay, but normally in daily classes I will write each and every word here. Okay, so we created the table, we inserted the data inside. Okay, to display the data we will have one more command, that is select command, and the syntax will be like select star from table name. This star technically we'll call it as asterisk. That means which is used to display complete data. Whenever we wanted to see complete data, then we will use star like this. If I say select star from employees and if I execute, I can able to see the output like this: 4 columns, 4 rows, whatever we created and inserted previously, right? Whenever we use star, we will get the complete data. But if we want to see any particular data, then that particular column names we need to use. Like if I say select employee name comma salary from the employees, and if I execute, I can able to see that data only. Okay, this is how we will display the data. Whatever I said till now, is that clear for anyone? Any doubts? We created database, we activated the database, we created the table, inserted the data, displayed the data. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Perfect. Now let me explain you about what is char and what is varchar. Okay, so suppose previously I defined like this: for employee name I used char and I defined the size as 10, right? So what will happen whenever I define char here? In the sense, suppose I define the size as 10. Just to explain you, I'm just taking one box here and I'll divide this box into 10 equal parts. Okay, so here, as I said, in each byte we will store single character, right? So suppose this is 10 bytes of memory and I'm entering a word called as John here. Okay, if I'm entering some word called as John, I'll take J in first box, O in second box, H in third box, N in fourth box. Okay, that means I used only 4 bytes of memory here for the letter, for the word John. Okay, and remaining I am left over with 6 bytes of memory because we already defined 10 bytes of memory. Correct? Whatever 6 bytes of memory which is left over here when I used John as a word, this 6 bytes of memory, what will happen whenever we will use char? It will just fill with the blank spaces like this. Okay, that means irrespective of whatever data we are entering, the complete size whatever we define, that will be used for the same employee name column. Okay, if I use only Sam as a word, that is 3-letter word, remaining 7 bytes will be given the blank spaces, but entire bytes will be used for the employee name here. Okay, so I can say here our memory is getting wasted. Simply our memory is being wasted by giving the blank spaces like this, right? Suppose if I use varchar instead of char, if I use varchar, what will happen? Again, 10 bytes of memory only I gave. Suppose the same John word I'm entering after defining varchar. Again, 4 bytes of memory used, 6 bytes of memory, whatever left over, it won't be used. It will be given back to the database. Okay. So whatever, how much data, how much size I defined also. For varchar, if I defined 100 as a size and I wrote some 10 bytes, some 10 letter word, then remaining 90 bytes will not be wasted. It will be allocated back to the database. So I can say memory will not be wasted whenever we use varchar. Am I clear? So here main difference is that in char, how much size we defined also, the complete bytes of memory will be used for the employee name column itself, so that our memory will be wasted. In varchar, how much we enter, that much bytes of memory only, whatever characters we enter, that much only memory will be used. The remaining web memory will be allocated back to the database. So memory won't be wasted here. Okay, that is the first difference. And the second difference is in char we can store up to 255 characters. 255 letters only, 255 characters only we can store, whereas in varchar I can store up to 65,234 characters. Okay, this much characters I can store inside varchar. And we will call char as fixed length and varchar as variable length. Why we are calling fixed length and variable length? In the sense, this memory, whatever we are defining, whatever size we are defining, that is fixedly, that is fixed, that is the complete memory we are using. But here, according to the variable, how many letters we are writing, that many only we will use memory, right? That is the reason we'll call it as variable length. According to the variable length only. Variable is nothing but if I'm writing my name Divya, in this variable I'm having only 5 characters, so only 5 bytes of memory will be used, like that. According to the variable, the memory will be used here, so that is the reason we'll call it as variable length. Okay, this is about the difference between char and varchar, which is one of the important interview question for freshers. I hope I'm clear up to here.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Which the students which you already hear, listen this classes, I think this will be like a revision for you. As we got some new students, I'm just repeating. Okay, all right, so let's continue. This is up to here, we have, this is the basics of SQL. Okay, next we have another concept, that is sub languages. Okay, so let's see, we have 5 types of sub languages in SQL. Okay, in each sub language we will have basically something called as commands. Okay, let me write commands in SQL. All the commands will be divided into this 5 types. Okay, let's see one by one. First one is DDL. DDL is nothing but data definition language, and we have some commands inside it. You can see here, right? So we have 5 sub languages: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. Inside each sub language, we have some commands. In DDL, under DDL, we have create, drop, alter, truncate, and rename. In DML, we have insert, update, and delete. In DCL, grant and revoke. TCL, these 3 commands, that is commit, rollback, and save point. In DQL, we have select. Let's discuss each one detailedly here. Okay, first DDL. Yesterday we are done up to DDL commands. Let me repeat this and let's start DML. Okay, so we have create, drop, alter, truncate, and rename. First, let's see about create command, which we already discussed. Basically, create is a command which used to create any database object. Okay, any database object, in the sense it can be tables, database objects, in the sense basically it can be tables, views, stored procedures. Okay, for now we are concentrating on the tables. Going forward, whenever we will learn about views and store procedures, there we will see about that particular create syntax. Okay, so I'm not repeating this, just now I said, right, how we are going to create the table. This is the create syntax, correct? So next we have drop command. Okay, drop is basically used to remove any table or database permanently. If I created one table and I don't want that table, I wanted to remove that table permanently from the database, then we need to use this drop command. Okay, the syntax will be like drop table table name. Okay, and if you want to delete remove the database completely, suppose SQL demo I don't want now, I want to delete, I want to remove the database, that means how many tables I will have inside the database, everything will be removed on one go. Okay, so the syntax will be drop database name. Okay, so I just created the same table with a different name. Let me create it once again. Employees one I give, because as I said, names should not be same, right? Just to show you how we are going to use drop command, I'm creating the same table once again with a different name. Let me create it. Let's insert the data once again. Okay, and let's display this data. I got the data in employees one. Let's refresh and let's check. I'm having employees and I'm having employees one. Okay, so to now let's apply, let's see how we are going to drop. The syntax is, as I said, drop table name, right? I need to just select this, we need to execute, and it got dropped. You can see only employees is there now. Suppose now if I say select star from employees, it will throw me error stating that table doesn't exist, employees one table doesn't exist, right? Because we just now dropped the table, right? Dropping in the sense removing the table completely from the database. Okay, this is about drop command. Whenever we don't, whenever we realize that we don't want any particular table, then we can drop it. Next, alter command. In alter we have 5 use cases. Okay, let's see one by one. First use case is that it is used to add new column to the existing table. Okay, suppose I already created the table, suppose employees table is already created, in that we have 4 columns. Then I just now realized that I wanted to add one more column into that same table. So generally how we give the columns, by using create command. While creating the table itself, we define the column names. Okay, after creating the table for the already existing table, if I want to add a new column, then I need to use a alter command, and the syntax will be like alter table name, add column name and data type. Okay, like this. That is what I did. Alter table employees. This employees table only I'm altering, and I'm saying that I want to add a column. Column name is bonus. For bonus, I'm giving the data type as float. Okay, let's select, execute. It got executed. Now observe here, I'm refreshing. I can able to see bonus column also. Let's actually display the output by using select command. You can see I added bonus column, but I didn't enter the data, so it is showing me null values, right? Like that. For the already created table, if you want to add a new column, this is how we will use. Yes, Maika.
Can we rename our column?
Of course, we can rename. That is also by using alter command only. I'll explain you just now in a while.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So this is one of the use case. Okay, adding a new column. And the second use case is that removing any existing column. Okay, suppose I already created some table, I realized I don't want one column in that table, it's useless for me, I want to remove that column. Then also I need to use alter command only. Okay, the syntax will be alter table name, drop column name. I need to use drop keyword inside alter. Okay, previously what we did, if we want to remove the table completely from the database, we used drop. I said drop table name. Here we are dropping the table permanently. Here what we are doing, we are dropping the column. I don't want a column, I want to remove the column. Then inside alter I need to say drop column. Okay, so what I did, alter table employees, drop column bonus, whatever column we created just now, let me drop that. It got executed. Now let's check if I'm refreshing. See, bonus is removed, right? Let's even check executing select command. You can see bonus is removed, like that. So for adding a new column also we will use alter command. For removing the existing column also we will use alter command only. And the third use case is to change the data type for the existing column. We already created the table. While creating, we will define some data types, right? Now, if I wanted to change the data types in between, then again we need to use alter command only. Okay, the syntax will be alter table table name. Here we need to use modify keyword. Generally modify in the sense changing, right? So modify column name, new data type. Okay, I need to say alter table employees, modify employee name. Suppose previously we gave char here, just now we understood about the, you know, difference between char and varchar. In char our memory is being wasted, so I wanted to change that to varchar. So I can give directly new data type here. Then let's execute. It got executed. Let's refresh and check. Now we can see we got varchar, right? Like that. If I wanted to change data type also, I need to use alter only. Inside alter I need to use modify keyword. But this modify, this syntax will be, whatever we learned till now, all the syntaxes are same for each and every database available. Okay, we have so many databases in the market, right? First of all, SQL is a universal declared language, but all the concepts whatever we are going to learn, that are of SQL concepts only. But to use SQL we have different databases like MySQL, okay, Oracle SQL, maybe SQL Server, PostgreSQL. Like that we are having different tools in the market, different databases in the market. Okay, here we are using MySQL tool because this is an open source platform. Open source in the sense it is freely available for everyone, and this is because of this reason nowadays most of the companies are using MySQL only. Okay, and that is the reason we are learning MySQL. But whatever syntaxes we are learning here is same, we can apply for any of the database. It is same, whatever create syntax, insert syntax, whatever it is, all the syntaxes even you can use for SQL Server also, Oracle SQL also, PostgreSQL also, anything is same only. Okay, but we have very little changes, that is also I'm discussing. Suppose still now whatever we discuss, all the syntaxes are same except this one, because modify keyword is not available in any other database like in SQL Server, okay, Oracle SQL we cannot write modify. So we need to write like this, alter again. In SQL Server or any other database, we need to write alter table table name, alter column name, new data type. Okay, 2 times alter only we need to write. Whereas in MySQL, we need to write modify. Okay. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Perfect.
ma'am.
Perfect. Now, next fourth use case, use it to rename the column name. That is what you asked, no, Mahika. So whenever we wanted to rename the column name, again we need to use alter command only. The syntax will be alter table table name, rename column, old column name to new column name. Like this we need to give. Okay. So I can say alter table employees, rename column. I need to give, I'm just changing date of joining to DOJ like this. Okay, let's select and execute. Inside alter, we are using rename keyword here. Okay, so let's check. Now my name got changed to DOJ, right? Like that. We can change column whenever, column name whenever we want, but we need to use rename inside alter. And the fifth use case is whenever we wanted to add a primary key for the existing table, we can use. Okay, so yeah, whenever we want to add a primary key for the existing table, we can use alter command only. Okay, primary key in the sense we didn't discuss about primary key so far. In going forward, we'll have integrity constraints concept. There we will discuss. And so at that point of time only, in that class only, I'll explain about this point also. Okay. After understanding what is primary key, I will explain you how we are going to use alter command there. Okay, so this is about alter command, 5 use cases. I hope it is clear, right? First one is adding a new column in the existing table. Second one is removing any column from the existing table. Third one is changing the data type. Fourth one is renaming the column name. And the fifth one is adding primary key. Okay, this is about alter command. Okay, so create, drop and alter is done. Next we have truncate command. Truncate is nothing but It is used to remove complete data inside the table, but the structure of the table will remain same. Okay, sometimes maybe we can face any scenarios that maybe our client, example, my client wanted me to, I'm having one table like this. My client wanted me to remove all the old data, and he's sending a new data for me. He wanted me to insert that new data into the same table. That is, table structure will be same. That table name, table structure in the sense whatever we will create by using create command. Okay, that is table name, column names, and the data types. Going forward, we will define integrity constraints, that is primary key, foreign key also, that also belongs to table structure only. Okay, that will be as it is, but whatever data we inserted, that data if we wanted to remove, then we will use truncate command. Okay, let me repeat. I'm saying, if I wanted to remove the complete data inside, employees one is there, I'm having some 4 rows of data. Okay, my employees got changed. I wanted to remove the old data and I wanted to enter the new data. But the table name I want as it is, column names, data types I want as it is. Then directly I can use truncate command. By using truncate, only data inside the table will be removed. Table structure will be as it is. And the syntax will be truncate table name. Okay, so again, I'll create employees one to show you this example. Let me create it quickly. And let me tell you one more point here. Even we can execute multiple queries at a time here. Okay, after every query, I need to use a semicolon like this. Yes, Maika, any questions? Yes, please.
Ma'am, can we get back the data once we perform truncate?
Of course, we can do that, which we will learn. In TCL commands, we have rollback. I'll explain you at that time.
Oh,
Okay. So first, let me here one more point. I think for all students also it didn't said you. So not only executing single queries, if we want, we can execute multiple queries at a time. But at that time, definitely we need to write a semicolon here. Semicolon is something when it will, I mean, whenever we write semicolon, SQL will understand this is the end of the SQL statement. Okay, previously in Oracle SQL and all, we used to use semicolon after each and every syntax. But nowadays it is optional here, especially in MySQL. Semicolon is basically optional. If you don't write semicolon is also okay, but whenever we are executing single query, here let me try execute this create table syntax and insert syntax at a time. Then whenever we are executing multiple syntaxes at a time, we need to write a semicolon. Then only SQL will understand this is one query, this is another query. Without semicolon, if I execute like this, it will throw me error, syntax error I will get. See, error, because it didn't understand. If I keep a semicolon, it will understand this is one query, this is my second query. Let me give a semicolon here, and even I'll write select star from employees one. Like that, how many queries we want, that many queries we can execute at a time. Okay. But after each command, we need to give a semicolon like this. Okay. Suppose I'll execute this 3 statements at a time. It will be executed. Okay, see, I got the direct data from the employees table. Last query, you can able to see the output. Okay, suppose if here basically create syntax and insert syntax outputs we cannot see, right? That is the reason I got this directly. Suppose if I say select star from employees, and if I execute this particular 2 queries, like this 2 outputs I'll get. This is one employees one data. We can toggle the tab like this and we can check this is the employees output. This is employees one output, like that. How many we will execute also we can able to find, but every time we need to write a semicolon at the end. Okay. So now I created employees one table. Let's apply truncate on it. So I can write truncate table name, right? I'm executing it. Now it got executed. Suppose if now I say select star from employees one, I will get a blank table, right? Because the data inside the table will be removed as I just now used truncate. But the table structure, that is column names, is as it is, right? Like that. Okay, suppose my client wanted me to remove the old data and insert the new data. I can do it in two ways, two methods or two ways I can say. First way is that either I can use truncate. While using truncate, the complete data will be removed, and then easily I can use insert command and I can insert my new data. This is one method. Or else either I can drop the table completely, then I will create the table once again, I'll insert the data once again. This is also okay, but here we need to follow three steps. Suppose if our my requirement is that I want the same table name and same table structure, then what is the need of dropping it unnecessarily? Simply we can use truncate and simply we can use insert, right? Like that. I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So next, the last command in DDL is rename. Okay, we are done with create, drop, alter, and truncate. Last command is rename command. Okay, rename is nothing but whenever we wanted to change the table name. Previously, if you want to change the column name, we used rename inside alter. Right here, if I want to change the table name, I need to use rename directly, and my syntax will be rename table, old table name to new table name. Suppose here employees one is there, right? Employees one, I'm changing employees one to emp. Okay, let's see. Rename table employees one to emp. It got executed. Now let's observe. See, I got emp and employees one is changed to emp. If I say select star from emp, I'll get a blank table, right? Like that. Even if we want, we can rename the you know table name also. This is about DDL commands. Very useful. In real time, we will use them very frequently. Okay. So next we have DML. Okay. In DML, yesterday we are done with update and insert, right? Let's see. So insert command basically used to insert the data, right? Which we already discussed. So I'm not repeating again. We know how to write the insert command like this, right? So here yesterday what I did, I showed you one example about this one. Basically what we did here while creating, let me show you this once again. Here while creating the employees one table, what I did, I define the size as 10 here. Okay, so suppose if I am inserting this, it will accept employees one doesn't exist. Okay, we removed, right? Let me create the table once again. Table got created. Okay, now I'm inserting the table. I just renamed employees one to emp, right? That is the reason I got employees one doesn't exist. So that is why I created the table once again. I'll insert the data. It will accept. Okay, and let me display the data. This is okay, but what I wanted to show you is that every time not only showing the correct syntaxes, let me show you some errors also. Suppose your employee name column is there. For that we define size as 10. That means I can enter up to 10 characters only in this particular employee name column. If I'm entering more than 10 characters like this, see, this is employee name. I just randomly give some letters which is more than 10. If I'm entering like this, definitely it will throw me error stating data too long for column employee name at row 1, right? Because I defined the size as 10 and I'm trying to enter more than 10 characters. And if you see error message also, it is showing us very clearly, right? If we did any mistakes, by seeing the error message, we'll understand where did we went wrong. Okay, data too long for column employee name, right? Now let's get back to our DML commands. Insert command we know already. I'm not repeating. Next command is update command. One more important command. Update is nothing but whenever we wanted to change any data which is already inserted. Okay. Suppose I inserted some data. Then I got some new data. I wanted to change the data, or maybe while entering or while inserting, I did some spelling mistakes. Okay. Or else some data got changed. For example, in my employees table, for one employee the salary got incremented. Now I wanted to change the old salary with a new salary. Then we will use update command. Okay, so the syntax will be like update table name, set column name is equals to value. Let me show you here first. Suppose for example, I'm showing you employees data here. I'm having 4 columns. Suppose last row is there, employee ID 4. Here the salary is 70,000 I'm having. Now I wanted to change this Priya salaries from 70,000 to 80,000 suppose. So I need to write like this. Update employees set salary is equals to 80,000. Okay. I wrote like this. Update employee set salary is equals to 80,000. But if I execute this, what will happen basically? In employees table, how many rows I have? All the rows, in all the rows, the salary will become 80,000. Here I'm not saying that I wanted to update salary of Priya or salary of employee ID 4, right? Without giving that condition, if I write only these two words, if I say update table name set salary is equals to 80,000, then how many rows I have? If I have 2,000 rows, 3,000 rows, in all the rows my salary will become 80,000 by default. Okay, so we need to be very careful whenever we are using update command and delete command in real time. So to here we need to actually mention the condition, right? To mention the condition we will use where clause here. We have one clause called as where clause in SQL. By whenever we wanted to write any conditions, we can write the conditions inside where clause. So by using where, I can say where employee ID is equals to 4. Then SQL will understand only for this particular employee ID 4 we wanted to change the salary to 80,000. Okay, like this. Update table name set salary is equals to value where condition employee ID is equals to 4. If I execute now and then if I say select star from employees, we can able to see we got 80,000 only for this particular row, like that. Okay, am I clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So what is where clause in the sense? It is used to give the conditions. Whenever we wanted to mention any conditions, we will write that conditions in where clause, and accordingly the data will be updated, deleted or filtered. That is inside update, if we use where clause, according to that conditions the data will be updated. Inside delete, if we use where clause, according to the conditions the data will be deleted. And inside select, if we write where clause, according to the condition the data will be filtered. Going forward, we have operators and clauses concept. There we will learn where clause very detailedly by solving many examples. Okay. Now let's solve one more question here. If I say my question is give every employee 10% salary bonus and add that bonus column into employees table. This is my question. My requirement is that for now I'm having in employees table 4 columns, but I wanted to add a bonus column, and in that bonus column I wanted to give 10% of their salary as a bonus. Okay, so how to write this nuisance? First, let's add a bonus column. To add a new column, we will use alter command, right? I'll write it as alter table name, add column, bonus, float. Okay, data type. If I'm executing this, the table, we will get the table structure, right? Let's see. I got bonus. Now inside bonus, what values I wanted to give? I'm saying I want to give 10% of salary bonus, right? So 10% of salary bonus, in the sense I can use update command and I can say bonus is equals to 0.1 into salary, right? This is what the formula of 10% in the sense we can write 0.1 into salary. But here I didn't use where clause because for each and every employee here I'm using the same condition, right? Whenever, I mean, the reason why I'm showing you this example in the sense sometimes according to the requirements even we can use update command without a where clause also. Whenever we are updating to the each and every row in the table with the same condition, no need of using where clause, right? Previously we updated salary only for particular one employee, so we mentioned it in where clause. Here for every employee I wanted to give the same bonus, so without where clause also we can update, correct? See, like this. Now if I say select star from employees, you can observe I got some bonus values here. See, 10% of the salary. I hope it is clear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So this is up to here only I explained till yesterday. Okay, today is completely a kind of, I explained the complete starting from the first class, whatever we discussed, I explained everything. And this is our last demo. Whoever is interested, you can just get register with us. Okay, in already chat box, our admin team posted the details. And as you attended the session, even you will get a mail from us. Just check with that mail, get register with us, then you will get a new Zoom link actually. Follow that link to attend a tomorrow's class. Sorry, Monday's class. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And just give me a minute. I'll just show you. Of course, this is also added in that mail, but let me quickly show you. This is the course content. As you know, the course duration is of 35 days. The course fees is only 3,000. Okay, and these are the course content which we're going to cover. Up to here, we are done. Right? Introduction to database and SQL. Limitations of Excel I didn't explain. We will discuss later. Creation of database and tables. MySQL installation I'll show you on Monday class. Data types in SQL. SQL commands, sub languages. Up to here we are done. Next, integrity constraints I will explain. I'll start explaining in Monday. We will take 2 days to finish this integrity constraints. Okay, up to here this is the complete basics of SQL which I will explain by using normal employees table or students table like that. Okay, so next from here the specialty of my course is that I'll give you one real-time project for you, which is a kind of movies database or OTT platform database. So once we are done with this concept, I'll explain you that database. I'll show you how to restore that database in your systems, and going forward all the concepts we'll discuss by using this database only, because once you join in any company, definitely you need to deal with real-time database where you will have thousands and thousands of volumes of data, right? So it will be a kind of hands-on experience for you. Okay, and next we have operators and clauses, important concept. We have some clauses here like wait clause, order by clause, limit clause. Okay, and we have some operators like and, or, not, range operator, membership operator, and like operator which is nothing but it is used to search for the patterns of data. Whenever we are searching for any data for any particular pattern, we will use like operators. We have some wildcards in it. We will discuss each and every point very detailedly by solving many examples by using this real-time database. Okay, next we have functions. We have so many functions here, and each number function, character function, date function, aggregate function. In each of these functions again we are having so many types of functions internally. We will discuss each and everything by solving examples. And then joins. I believe joins is, it's a backbone for complete SQL. Okay, mostly in real time we will work with joins only, joins along with the operators and clauses. So as this is very important topic, only for this joins I'll give, not only we will solve many examples in class, but not only that examples, even I'll give you some assignment questions also. Okay, so that I'll give you some time, you can practice, you can see whether you can able to solve them or not, and after maybe 1 week or 10 days I'll explain that questions in class also, so that you can recheck the answers. We have so many types of joins like inner join, left join, right join, self join, cross join, natural join. Every join we will discuss by solving so many examples. Okay, any joins file like this. Okay, I'll give you questions as well as the like this. We will solve all the examples. By solving examples we will learn about joins, all the concepts, of course, not only joins. Next, regular expression, one more important concept. Not only whatever concepts we are learning here, whatever you choose domain, it can be data analytics, it can be full stack testing, whatever it is, every concept is very useful, right? Regular expressions is also one more concept by using which we can check for the patterns of data. We have so many anchors in it, we'll discuss one by one very clearly. Then we have few more clauses like group by clause, having clause, using aggregate functions inside group by clause. Okay, to understand this, first we need to understand joins. That is the reason I added this clauses here. Okay, next we have subqueries. We have so many types of subqueries: correlated, non-correlated, single row subquery, multi-row subquery. We will discuss everything by solving examples. Next, normalizations, denormalization, normal forms. I can bet in any other institute they will just explain you this theoretically, what is this, but here basically I'll show you by taking one real-time example. I'll take denormalization is nothing but whatever raw data we'll get from our client, that will be denormalized data. By using normal forms, we'll convert denormalized data into a perfect database. How we are going to convert, I'll show you by taking one example very practically, which you cannot find in any other institutes, I can tell you very confidently. Okay, next ER diagrams, views, indexes, temporary tables. Each concept is very important. We will use them in real time very frequently. CT is one more advanced concept. Common table expressions we'll call it as. Store procedures, this one we will use very regularly in real time. Windows functions, nowadays in every interview you will face this question. Previously, even I also didn't included this in my concept, but upon students request I included this in my course. Okay, we have 5 window functions: rank, dense rank, row number, lead and lag. We will discuss all the functions detailing. At the end we will see some interview questions as well. Okay, this is about the course content which we are going to cover. Okay, if you have any doubts you can ask me now, or else I'll end the session for now. And this is our last demo, guys. Okay, if you like the way of my teaching and the content which I am giving you, that too, as I said, the specialty of my course is that we will discuss all concepts by using this real-time database, and I'll provide you this directly, this files only as the notes for you. I don't believe in giving theory kind of notes. I'll just share you these files directly, where all the theory part also I'll write like this. Suppose if it is indexes, any concept, if theory is there, first I'll write like this, and then here only you can find the, what we can say, here only you can find the explanation, here only you can find the examples, syntaxes, everything very detailing, so that whenever you are revising, it will be very easy for you, right? And once you get register, from that day you will get the live videos, the videos for you, video access also for 6 months free, for 6 months, up to 6 months. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right then. I'll end the session. Let's meet on Monday. Just check with your
Okay.
mails. Whoever get registered, you will get a new Zoom link. Okay, follow that link and connect on Monday's class.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Bye.